There are people who think that because you have ruled by decree for the last year, that you bear most of the blame for what's happening in your country now, all the things that are happening, and the fact that the Constitution does not even have some direction as to where the country should go at this point, having a provisional government in place. What do you say to those critics who say they are pointing the finger at you, from the New York Times, Washington Post, all these newspapers?
When you want to accuse someone, you will always find something to say. If you want to appreciate his work, you'll talk about something else. You will talk about the million of the people who are under the tents, and you will realize that if you want to see a few more tents, you have to really dig, because most people are back at home. If you want to talk about the streets that are paved, we will talk about kilometers. You know how many schools we built? Almost 500. You know how many big hospitals we built? More than a dozen. Big hospitals. You know how about health centers we built? Probably hundreds. So, we can talk about health. You know how many diseases comment dire ça, éradiquer? Eradicated? A few. I won't give you details because I don't want to be wrong on the details, but my Minister of Health would tell you. Mortality, infant mortality has decreased. AIDS transmission from mother to child. I don't know the terms. I'm a musician, not a doctor. But you know, has declined tremendously. On the health sector, on education, on social issues, we have done big things. In reconstructions, we have done big things. On democracy, the rule of law, freedom of speech, allowing these people to say anything, not just about the president. Forget about the president. He has privilege. He is president, so they can attack him. But my entourage, my chief of staff, my people who are here giving their best, you know, putting everything at risk, and you just because you can't get a contract, or because we don't pay you to be quiet, and you say anything to these people about these people. It's been a great experience, man. I was able to discover the world. What you see and what it is two different things. I could look at you, look at your eyes, and tell you that you have two liars here, because what you see is not what it is.
Do you think if you would remain in office that there would be a coup d'etat? Do you think if you remained in office that there would be a coup d'etat?
Let me tell you. First of all, you say, if I remain in office, how would I remain in office? My time is up. At the time of campaigning,
but you also said that you were not going to step down.
I never said that. Whoever translated for you lied to you. I said I would not leave power not knowing what would happen after February 7th. I would not leave power just giving it to the opposition, people who not giving it to people who never wanted elections. I was working toward an agreement, but it was more than 3 weeks before we got what we wanted.
You had always intended to leave on February 7th?
From the day I became president. As a matter of fact, it's not just that time is up. You know, we work so hard, my team and I, we need a break. We need a break. We're not power sick. Most of the people who work with me, work by my side, are business people. And that's why you could feel the difference. That's why during 5 years, let's say 3 years, because this last year doesn't count. It was all political trouble. First year we came as a, comment on appelle les jeunes qui ont, bachelors. You know, we came newcomers. So let's say in 3 years, we're able to do so much. It's because we are doers. Because most of the people you see around me were business people. they based their success on results, not on defamation, not on perception, on results. Our mistake is probably the fact that we are not politicians. That's probably why we're here today in that situation where there's a crisis. If I had understood from day one that I should have paid the price, I would have probably done it. I would have done it probably. So they would not have said bad things about us. But when they became frontal, like against me, I decided, well, you can say your things. I'm not gonna bend, you know. Keep on saying what you want. I'm going to remain focused on education, on health issues, on the elections. I've tried since 2012 to have elections. They never let me have elections.
Well, people say you never wanted to have them. There are the critics back in Miami who say you never wanted to have them.
Back in Miami, who are these people? People in Miami are criticizing what's happening in Haiti. First of all, if you want to be a philosopher and say things about informations, you have to make sure that the information is right. I went to school and I remember that theorem: when the hypothesis is false, the conclusion is false. If you have the wrong info, you have the wrong conclusion. You need the right information. Since 2012, I've been involved in a dialogue until last night, up to last night. I never governed through the Constitution. Every time I had to apply the Constitution, and it would be hard on the people because of the fragility, the weakness of the institutions here in Haiti. I had to use dialogue or consensus over Constitution. So in that sense, I will tell you, I've been a model. I've been the first one who has governed 5 years through consensus, through dialogue. So my critics might just want to be involved in politics. But if they don't know the truth, they can say what they want. But they won't convince me, because they're making the news about me. But me being the news, I know the truth. I own the truth. I know that what they say is false. But you over there, for listening to what they say, and from what they say, making a conclusion on false info, is keeping it on a lie.
Mr. President, what about those who say that you should never have allowed Aristide and Baby Doc to come back to you?
I never allowed it, Aristide. And again, Calvin, this time I'll blame it on you. Because if you do some research, you will find out that I was a candidate when Aristide came back. I was a candidate when Duvalier came back. So how could I be blamed for their return? As a matter of fact, it didn't help me when they came back. They came back at the time of a crisis. When I was on the ballot, there was a problem with Mr. Celestin and myself back then, who's going to be on the runoff. And then these two former presidents come to Haiti. It was more like a problem for us candidate than something positive.
But the fact that you wanted to give Baby Doc a state funeral, that made a lot of Miami Haitians upset.
Those who were upset were spectators. I'm the leader. I'm the leader of a country, and I have to take decisions. And the leader of a country takes big decisions. It's never easy. It's never easy. You have to understand in one side that he was president, whether you like it or not. He was president, whether he did good or right. He was president. And the Constitution predicts that a president gets state funeral. Now, again, because I didn't want to put, gas in the fire because of the difference among our society, because we haven't healed our wounds yet, I decided, contrary to the Constitution, not to give him a state funeral. He was entitled to a state funeral as a president. You got me? Or you want more?
I understand.
All
I
right.
understand
All right,
He was
baby.
entitled, but you didn't give it to him. Is there anything that you would like to say that I haven't asked you about? Over the last 5 years, you talked about no regrets, no envy. Is there anything that you would do differently?
Definitely. Definitely. First of all, you become president in Haiti not knowing what a president is, especially in a country where the structures are not in place. There is nothing to lead to continuity. I become president and I find this office empty. Nothing on what was happening before, at what stage we were, what's important, what is not important. So I hope that you can imagine how long it will take me to even understand what my responsibility is, a former musician. I should be applauded because it didn't take me 6 months to start with the free education. It didn't take me 6 months. I became president in May 2011. In September, I had free education. So it tells you that although you don't learn how to behave as a president, although you don't go to school for that, I was good enough to be able to implement, after 6 months, free education in my country. Excuse me, it's still not the best system. You know, through time, we will fix it. Through a good parliament to vote the laws, we will fix it. But I did, in 6 months, what we had not been able to do in 211 years of independence. And same on the health issue. Same on taking the people. Can you imagine? I think I've told you in one of our previous interviews that when they said on the radio, the next president of the Republic of Haiti, Michel Joseph Martelly, I'm president. The second you become president, the problem starts. Because at the time of campaign, I had promised my people to take them out of the tents. I was a musician, playing the keyboard, drinking my rum. How do I do that? Do you know that I was able in 2 years to remove all these tents? Now, if you want to talk about what I was not able to do, we can talk about it. Someday, I'll probably write my memoirs, you know, and I will tell you more of what I didn't get a chance to say today. Because, you know, these last weeks have been tough on our team, working every day, every night to get a solution to the crisis. And today is the day we finally signed that agreement. Tomorrow I leave office. I'm in a state where it's a big for me, and I might be away from everything that I would like to say now. You know, I'm in a cruising situation where finally, man, I'm going to take a break. Well needed, you know, finally. I'm starting to look back. When I say no regrets because I've done a lot, but regrets because we could have done much more. You know, no envy to continue using the privileges of a president, because I was a president before I was president. I was on stage, thousands of people screaming, Mickey, Mickey. I was on top of my float with 1 million of people singing my songs. You know, I can get on a stage with Julio Iglesias. I can get on stage with Lil Wayne. I can be on stage alone. You know, as an artist, you have that freedom. So I had privileges before. So no regret, no envy. But now I think my team and myself, we need a big break, and we'll be back. We'll be back because it's not about being president. It's about fighting for what you believe. It's about fighting for a better Haiti, fighting for a better tomorrow, fighting for a better life for our people. And that's what drove me to become president. Not, that fight to remain in power until May 14, I could have done it. Because the same constitution that says that my mandate ends on February 7 stipulates that my term lasts 5 years. My term ends on May 14. I'm not saying I would have won the fight, but with so much instability right now, and me not wanting to leave my country in some type of uncertainty, and due to the fact that on February 7, the Constitution doesn't predict what happens, due to the fact that Article 136 in the Constitution predicts that the President of the Republic, the Chief of State, has as a mission to guarantee the good functioning of the institutions and also guarantee continuity of the state. So I had the power to take decisions for post-February 7. And part of that decision could have been that I remain until May 14, first of all, to complete my mandate, secondly, to find the right solution.
But Mr. President, you said that the real problems are going to begin, which is a dire prediction for your country. You said when we were talking on the couch that you think now that you're leaving, the country hasn't seen what's coming next, and it's pretty bad.
That's not what I want. This is what I foresee. And believe me, although I told you I'm going to be vacationing, I think we have to engage ourselves to avoid that. Because enough crisis for Haiti now. We need something better. So we're going to do our best to avoid that. But I also hope that you understand that people who have voted for a change might be very uncomfortable with having to deal with this situation where those who stopped the elections come back to power without elections.
You think that's ultimately what they want? Not have to go through an election process?
That's what the fight was. That's what it's been always.
No elections, back to dictatorship.
I don't call it dictatorship. I call it anarchy. Just anything goes.
Anarchy.
Yeah. I call it anarchy. Because today, as I told you, we have no power to arrest a bandit. And yet, a bandit can kill a police officer in the streets, and the human rights will say, well, you have to understand that the police is not doing its job. And if the police arrest a bandit, they say, well, it's political prisoners, So if it continues like this, we will see some things that we do not want to see. Of course, as I told you, as a leader, I understand the need to have stability in Haiti, peace. So we're going to work at trying to make this possible. But we also have a reality that we need to deal with.
Who do you think will be the next president of Haiti?
Well, for now, I wish good luck to everyone. For now, they can all have it. The responsibility is theirs now. And I hope they do it right, because the Haitian people seem not to want to take anything anymore. They want their elections to happen, and based on how those who are going to take the lead function, we will go in a direction or in another. But I wish the best to everyone, the leaders and the community. Everybody's problem is your problem. When you're president, Every single person promised you a problem. And I told them yesterday, I said, okay, now it's almost over. I don't care about you anymore. You take care of your problems. You know, I was just joking. But that's true. Now I can finally think of, my son is studying in Boston. I didn't go take him to the university when he was going. He came back in vacation here. Many times he was like, Dad, why don't you come and visit me, man? I'm like, you know, I don't even know which school he's going. Now is the time for me. But we FaceTime, you know. But now I can take a break and go and visit my son and spend the night with him, take him to a bar, you know, talk about music or my own experience, you know, but I never had a chance to do that while I was president, so definitely freer and tougher, because now people were complaining about my song. As president, I just put it on the radio. Now, if I go back to music, I'll perform and I'll say much more than what was in my song, because freedom of speech is for everyone, not just for the opposition, not for the press. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech, and people need to respect people's view.
So for the next, so you're going to take a vacation, and then you said you're going to continue.
You seem not to want me to take a vacation.
No. Yes. So when people see Michel Martelly 6 months from now, are you going to still be in the political arena
might,
in some kind of way? Or?
As I told you, we have a movement. The youth they have understand that they need to be involved to take the destiny of their nation, take it to where they foresee is good for them. And at once I was the leader of this movement, probably alone as an artist. Now we have organized ourselves, and I won't be in the streets every day or in the political arena every day. But if needed, you will see me. Now my plan is to take a break, and then time will tell how quick I'll be back, if I'm back.
If you're back.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be about me. It's about the movement.
What if you will run again?
What if I identify a young woman, a young man who can do the job, and I can lay back and be there for them, you know, a new dynamic, you know, a new vision, because things change.
But I have to pin you down on this. Are you going to run for president of Haiti again?
You just sounded like a dictator. I will always be there for my people, for my country. But this cannot be an objective. This cannot be a finality. Be president again. You know, you have to want to do something and reach. You know, I never learned how to sing, how to compose a song. I did it on my own. I never learned how to play the piano. I did it on my own. But it's not about singing and playing the piano. It's about what I was able to accomplish with my singing and with my song. First of all, be a father, a spouse, the chief of the family, pay for my kids to go to school, do enough good for the people who they trusted me and become president. You know, now president, no, I'm not crazy about power. You know, these are things that people don't see every day. So for me to stand here and tell you, yes, I'm going to run again, I would be like a normal person. I would be like a Calvin Hughes. I would be like the newspaper you said, who says anything. I cannot be like this, you know. I have to take some space, be me again, and if I'm needed, I'll be there. I'm not afraid, except that I cannot not just say I want to be president. And there are so much bigger things. There are things that I wanted to do for the people while I was president that I will be able to do as a civilian, but I couldn't do it. You know, so we have time. We have time.
My final question for you: were you forced into the deal that was made overnight last night to have the provisional government?
It doesn't really matter. We had to do something for Haiti. We did it. Whether we were forced or convinced or part of it, for part of the plot, I think something that is defined, something that is well written, something that shows the way forward was an imperative for Haiti at this crucial time. I was part of it. I'm happy. All I can say now, job well done. Hasta la próxima, presidente.